My name is Mariana Danilovich, and I'm the founder and managing director of Infium. We partnered with the BNB Chain for the BNB Chain and Infium Founders Academy. This is our first cohort where we selected over a dozen top-tier founders from over 100 applicants. And today we are hosting a lecture with one of the top projects on the BNB Chain. Charles Wayne is the founder and CEO of Galxe. They have been extremely successful in gaining traction on the BNB chain, and he's going to give us some pointers to us and the founders as to how this can be done in the most optimal way. Thank you, Charles. The podium is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Mariana. Thank you for hosting this. Well, I guess I can start with 5 to 10 minutes about the introduction and how Galaxy works, and I leave the rest of sessions mostly for Q&A. Any questions you have regarding Web3 and BNB chain, or how to use Galaxy, how do you want to build your Web3 community in a different way, in a solid way. So for Galaxy, so by the way, our brand name is Galaxy, Galxe. A lot of people confused, Galaxy with another Galaxy, the Galaxy Digital or Galaxy Interactive or Galaxy Ventures. That was our previous name. Previously, our brand name was Project Galaxy, and later we rebranded to Galaxy. So you can pronounce it in any way you want, because we think cool people know how to pronounce it. But here we are. So we are our on-chain credential platform with a plug-and-play no-code solutions for users to for brands to build their community, to user acquisition, to release to launch their loyalty program, etc. With all the no code and the plug and play features. So I can just give you guys a demo live right now, which is you guys can see how that works from the action, from the demo. So how it works is when you go to Galaxy website, this tagline, we're updating our brand messaging, but this has been our tagline for a while. This is telling users build your digital identity and earn different rewards, right? So we can offer allow list, token rewards, NFT. We also have a gasless NFT contract called on-chain achievement token, as well as airdrop. So how it works is from a brand perspective, as a partner of as a business partner of Galaxy, essentially they will get access to their own space. For example, BNB chain on Galaxy, they have a lot of traction. They're running new campaigns every week, and for different purposes, right? So how it works is if when they go to their space, they can create new campaigns, and every campaign they can customize the requirements and the rewards. For example, if you go to say Love in the Air, this is their Valentine's Day campaign. Mystery Box, a total of 100,000 NFTs being minted from this campaign. How that works is they allow you to do some task assigned with different partners on BNB chain. So because the goal for BNB chain team is to let users explore the entire ecosystem more and engage more, right, with the apps, with the developers built on top of BNB chain. So for example, here's a Trader Joe. This is a decentralized exchange. The task is they have two tasks. One is follow Trader Joe on Twitter and have at least 5 transactions on BNB chain. That's very important, right? The second task is join the Discord and obtain mini Joe role on their Discord server. So that means I have to complete all 4 requirements in order to get this mystery box, right? So here on users end, what they will see is they have to be a follower of both accounts, and they have to be yeah, they have to acquire Discord role on the Trader Joe server, and also uh, once they do that, they ask you to go to this page to verify yourself. So how that works is we combine all of these requirements together, allow our partners to compose the requirements and combine the rewards by themselves. And we support a lot of different interesting use cases and the data credential, for example, uh, when you go to Gap, uh, when you go to the yeah, so when you go to your own dashboard, for example, if we go to this space, if I click on create a campaign, I will be asked to put some requirements here, right? And the requirements, you can select all the existing credentials on Galaxy, which is created by other companies or other data curators, or you can choose to create and plug in. We call it bring your own data. So from this part, we support say bring your own data. You can support CSV file, API integration, or Google Sheets. API obviously requires some dev work from your team, from your dev team. Subgraph, which allow you to track any kind of on-chain activities. Also, you can as a community team, say I'm a community team member, I can connect our Discord servers, Discord server with Galaxy. So you can automatically track activities of the community members in Discord from voice channel, Discord member, Discord messages, as well as Twitter, Twitter, all the actions on Twitter, and also your governance participants via snapshot and GitHub contribution history. Also, say if I simply want to put up the requirements like you have to be a Bored Ape, a Yard Club, NFT holder, you can simply select their contract address here. We will take a snapshot of all the holders and only the holders. That holders become a credential on Galaxy. So that's how credential works. And then on the other hand, that's how credential. On the other hand, we allow everyone to choose, what kind of rewards they want to give away based on users who hold those credentials. So there is an alt NFT customer rewards and mystery box token as well as Discord role. So that's how it works right now. So far, this dashboard and the overall as a Galaxy platform, we have a total of 1,900 companies that are using Galaxy every day to engage with their community to acquire new users. Even for ourselves, our community team are managing our space. We give away badges for people who visit us at our East Denver event, who voted on our governance snapshot proposal, as well as tuning to our Twitter space. We have a guys radio episode always featuring different partners. The requirement is you have to listen at least 20 minutes during that AMA session in order to be eligible to claim this oath. And then see for this 1 hour for this 1 hour session, we have a total of 1,500 people, unique users, listeners, tune in and claim the badge. So that's how it works. And most importantly, it allows you to combine this with a lot of on-chain tasks, right? For example, if you go to let me find an on-chain example for you guys, so you guys can have a better idea. Um, um, yeah, so actually, can go with DJ request, the ones that Polygon is currently hosting right now. DJ request. So they want you to Polygon. Their team is using Galaxy to encourage people to explore different apps on Polygon, right? So if you they ask you to go to Uniswap, you have to do, swap at least $20 worth of token in Uniswap. between at least two swaps. So this is an example of on-chain task and on-chain actions, right? So once you do that, just simply click on this to verify yourself. And once you have verified, you will see this box become green. And then once you fulfill all the requirements, you can get one NFT. Um, but yeah, that's how it works. I will pause here in case you guys have any questions. But yeah, we've been in the space for 2 years. Galaxy was founded 2 years ago in March 2021. We work with currently 1,900 companies. They're using Galaxy. We have about uh, we have about 54 million unique Galaxy ID users. And in total, we're producing about 8 to 10 million NFTs every month. Our BNB chain, Polygon, we're the largest and the most active DM on BNB chain, Polygon, Arbitrum, and Opus, all of those ecosystems. And we also work closely with the ecosystem. For example, you see Binance and Polygon, their official team are using Galaxy for their own community engagement. Um, yeah, I guess I'll pause here in case you guys have any questions, and I can answer first, and then maybe I can jump forward to talk about go-to-market strategy and also any tips regarding the token launch.
So Lisa has a couple of questions. Let her ask them.
Yeah, thanks, Ariana. So my first question was, of your existing user base, the brands that are using your platform, how many of them are B2C, and are there any B2B ones?
Yeah, so most of them are B2C because we one of the advantage we offer to our partners is our large user base, right? So everybody wants to attract audience from Galaxy, and meanwhile they're also bring their users over, so Galaxy becomes a pool of different audience from different chains who are interested in different sectors like DeFi or NFTs. But most of the business use Galaxy, they're all B2C. So if you are developer focused or B2B focused, actually it will be less helpful when you use Galaxy. But when you try to attract, uh, when you try to gain traction on Twitter, try to incentivize people to try out protocol, Galaxy is the perfect venue for this.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, we're a DeFi platform that we're a DeFi infrastructure, composable infrastructure. So other people build DeFi apps on top of us. So essentially we're B2B2C. So it would be interesting to see if there's a partnership available, agreement available, because our apps that use our platform could probably use your service. So that's something to explore. And then the other question I had was, do you have a way that I can try it out so that I can recommend it to our apps? Do you have like a special offer or something?
Yeah, definitely. So how it works is right now, everything I mentioned, I just show you guys was completely free. But it's not open to everybody. We have an application for projects to submit information first, and we have a team to approve the application just to make sure we don't get another Binance space set up on Galaxy, right? So we have this approval process. Usually it takes 1 to 2 days. So I think what we can do is we can create a Telegram group chat after this, and I can invite our team member to join. We will share all the related onboarding materials, and you guys can fill out the form. Let us know. We will approve it. And you guys can try it out. We don't charge anything at the moment. There's no hidden cost. There may be some limit on the free NFT, gasless NFT minting credit, just because we're sponsoring the gas for users and brands for the Galaxy. We call it on-chain achievement token, which is just the NFT contract, but gasless, in a gasless way. So that product is called Galaxy OAT. So there's maybe some limitations on using how many in total oats can be minted by your community members at the very beginning, but as long as you use it, as long as you have a good tractions on your campaigns, the limit will be upgraded accordingly. So yeah, we can chat in the group after this. I'll invite my colleagues there.
Sounds great. And I'd love to hear, you said you were going to go into go-to-market strategy. That would be my third question.
Exactly.
Before we launch that, I think Pavel also wanted to get the requirements to onboard. So maybe we can add everyone from the academy to that Telegram channel who is interested. A lot of the companies in the academy are growing their user base either for NFTs or DeFi. So I think that may be very helpful. Okay, we can now launch into your go-to-market. I actually have a couple of questions if you have a minute still on this sort of setup of it. If you think of the way I think about this project, it's how to manage your community optimally, right? But you have NFTs, airdrops of tokens available, and then you have a couple of tokens that people can use. How do they use those tokens? Because they're not their native ones.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. That's actually part of the what I want to share about go-to-market strategy.
Yeah.
So what we have, yeah, I maybe I can just get started with that part right now. So how it works, and because we've been in this space for 2 years, work with different companies, witness a lot of projects to how they launch their product initial prototype and also launch their mainnet. So first of all, Galxe is suitable for all stages. You don't have to have a minimum requirement as long as you start to you have already you feel like you're ready to launch the product to kick off your community. Even so we work even like we work with companies who are just launched their testnet, who recently launched their mainnet, who has been on the space for 2 to 3 years, looking to retain their existing audience. Guys, it's suitable for all use cases. So speaking of go-to-market, I can use some of I think there's some philosophies that everyone can pay attention. Because as a growth hacker myself, and also I've been running community for the past 6 years. I started my Web3 journey in 2017. The first app we built was a decentralized live streaming app on Steam blockchain at that time. Later, Steam was acquired, and we started our own blockchain, one of the first Cosmos-based chain, which is called Dino Network. And then I've been running DLive, the live streaming platform, for 4 years. And later, the company was acquired by BitTorrent. And then 2 years ago, I founded Galxe, the company. So that's my story. I've been doing, consumer facing. I've been talking to customers since 2017. One of the key takeaways are you always want to have constant call to actions for your community. At all time. Whenever a lot of tech driven founders or product driven founders, they think I still want to build, I still want to spend more time to polish my product. But actually that's not always true. Users know, users you don't have to have a perfect product to show to your users. In fact, no one launched a perfect product no one has a perfect product when they launched their product initially. There's always some minor feedback, minor bugs or issues on your product. So and users are getting used to accept the fact that they expect the product to be updated over the time, right? And that actually shows how your product team take user feedback effectively, right? So when you have something ready, a landing page or when you have as long as today's topic is more focused on B2C. I will talk about B2C first. So when you have the product ready, when you have the landing page and prototype ready, you can start to build your community. Build the community as early as possible. This is a Web3. Community is the key. And also, one the best place to get started is on Twitter, a Twitter account or a Discord account. And starting from there, you can start to share more information with your community. Your community wants to learn more about you guys. 2 years ago, there's still a lot of projects to annual. A lot of founders they like to work annually, which is fine. But I think it's not going to work in the longer term. It's actually going to be a negative sign for your community if you don't want to expose your identity. So, just be confident. Let the community know who you are. You give you guys extra credibility when you present to your community. So share more information with the community. That's important before you kick off anything. Because if they don't know who you are, they will even be afraid to interact with your spot with us interact with your app, your website, because they don't know if you are legit or scam. If they use their wallet to interact with your app, would there be any potential hack happen in the future? So share more information. If you just raise the seed round, announce it, or list your investors on your website, and and then during that time when you're still working on your product, let the community know what you are building. So you can start to see if they are interested or not. If not, that's not your audience, it's fine. So platform like Galxe, there's a lot of platform that can help you kickstart your community in a different way, right? We have about 150K daily active users on Galxe. Most of them are on Galxe just to explore and discover new projects, right? Or they're trying to find the new initiatives, the new initiatives by existing projects. I want to keep being, I want to be keep engaged, or I want to find another, become an early adopter of another, future $10 billion project. So and in Web3, everybody acknowledge that this is every all projects value contributors, value community members. So the best community you can build is actually to the best community. Sorry, it wasn't me, right? Okay, yeah. So the best community, in my opinion, is how many people, how many contributors in your community are willing to do anything you need them to do for free. I'm not saying you have to make them work for you for free, but they're willing to do it even if you don't pay them. That means how great your community is. So speaking of this, you want to have fun step established first. First of all, maybe get yourself exposed to a large group of others. For example, platforms like Galxe, or you have your investors give you a retweet. You have a BNB chain, or Ethereum, or a Polygon official Twitter account give you a retweet and sharing in their community. Try to get yourself exposed to as much audience as possible. Let people know about you. So with that, you can see at the first stage, you attract a lot of audience come. And a lot of people, after they did their research, they will choose to come to stay or not, right? So a lot of users will be, some of the users will be diluted, and some people may leave, some people stay, and then design some call to action. So your community is one of the new brand messaging we're drafting for our platform. Actually, It's also it's also designed for both partners and the users. Is your Web3 community is waiting, right? So they're waiting for you to have some call to actions for them. You cannot just let them sit there in your Discord for no reason, right? And give them some updates. Let them know what they can do for you. Translate your documentations or help you contribute the code to your GitHub if you guys are open source or not. But yeah, that's just the idea. Design some call to actions for your community for your users to kickstart to get started. And then after that, um, I don't know, now you should at least at this stage you should secure some kind of funding because it's very important to secure funding at the when you start to have users. You want to let your potential investor know about this as early as possible. Also, I highly not recommend. I highly don't recommend self fund for the first seed stage. You can probably self fund uh, for the pre-seed stage, but definitely not for the entire seed stage. So my definition about seed stage is more about I have an idea. I don't have a working product. I'm working on building this first version of the product, and I have some seeding users who are interested in my product, and in seed stage, investors always look at your team, right, and the idea. If they like your team, they like your idea, they will invest because at this stage you don't have a perfect product. Most of angel investor will tell you, they focus on the people, the team, at the very early stage only. That's a philosophy or thesis of a lot of VC firms. So they don't expect you to have a working product. So during this stage, you don't need to have a perfect product because I've seen some projects, they pitch seed investors with the very crappy version of their first version of their product. It actually gets worse. Is actually not being helpful for their race, right? So they are uh, make sure C stage you focus, you emphasize on your team, you emphasize on your idea. And then during this C stage, if you have secured some fundings, great. Let your community know or save it for later. Because when you announce a fundraiser, it's always a good news for any projects. Your community will be very excited to see. So maybe combine with some call to actions when you announce the fundraise. I know you're probably going to work with the PR agency. You're probably going to have a blog post announcement. Have some call to actions for your community. So people who are attracted by your fundraise announcement, they can come over right away and have something to do. So I think that's the go-to market from 0 to 0.5, at your seed stage. And then after your seed stage, the second stage, we'll call it Series A. I think the definition of Series A is you are ready. You have a working product now. You already tested with some of the early users, early adopters, and you're ready to scale with the capital raised in this Series A round. So in this part, given based on this definition, you really need to show your community how my product look like and convince them in your first screen of your website or your app, right? Why you guys are different from other competitors or other similar apps in the space, right? Why do I choose you guys not others? So I think that's very important. And if you have that, you can now design some call to actions actually related to your product, right? In the seed stage, you don't have a product. A lot of call to actions are limited in the community level or within the Discord or social media because you don't have any action items for your users to do something in your product. And now in the Series A stage, you have the product ready. Now just try to, try to have a better to have a at this stage the data becomes important, right? The performance data becomes important because thinking about when you introduce yourself, um, how many users you have, right? How many developers you have, how many apps are building on top of your protocol, how many followers, how many Discord users, Discord members you have. Think about all of those metrics because all of these metrics start to become important, especially when you talk to the next round investors or let more users to know about this. So this stage focus on let users try out, interact with your protocol. For example, if you're a decentralized exchange, your only focus should be total value locked, how many people deposit assets, if you also how many unique traders. Sometimes maybe unique traders don't matter that much compared to the volume, right, or the liquidity they provided, or how much volume you have in the past 24 hours, past the 7 days. Those are the data to let everybody know what kind of DEX I am, and immediately give everyone an idea why I should go with you guys. Why I should choose your DEX instead of others. So I think if you really did well on this stage, I would say you have 0 to 1. And if you are ready to raise your next round, that means you're really ready to scale it. Usually, second round, your third round expect to be a double digits million, right? So more than $10 million. That can really help you build something really big. Some of the company even have over $100 million fundraise for the third round. So this is my thoughts, and I use Galaxy as an example. From our own experience to demonstrate how that works in this part. So at the very beginning, when we raised our seed, we didn't have a product. We only had a landing page and a pitch deck, and me and my founder, just us. So we pitched a lot of VCs. Unfortunately, we found Multicoin. Multicoin was our investor. They're interested and they really like the idea. So we were fortunate enough to have them led our seed fund, and they've been very helpful they've been very helpful, especially in terms of at the early stage when we still trying to figure out which direction should we go, what kind of MVP should we build at the very beginning, and what's the fundamental business model here. So business model for Galaxy, the model for Galaxy is more B2B2C, right? Everybody agree with that, right? So we work with 1,900 companies. They use Galaxy to launch their campaign page, interact with their users. Users come to their Galaxy Space page to interact with them. So in this way, users are indirectly interacting with Galaxy as well. So our goal is we focus on B2B only at the early stage. And then we have their users come over to engage with them. Also, we try to let them stay on Galaxy. So it becomes a pool of user base, a large pool of user base. So people, maybe I was originally a project, I'm originally a member or a user of Uniswap, but I come here and I discover you have SushiSwap. So that's like, and also we provide this infrastructure. We demonstrate the idea you can self-select all the credentials you want and the design the rewards attached to the based on that requirement. So with this, it's actually very powerful. But at early stage, we didn't even have the dashboard. So how we did it was at B2B market, the most important idea and the most important thing you need to have is to find top customers, right? Customers who have a good brand reputation. So the first customer we had was Sushi Swap, and everybody know about Sushi Swap. So and then we create a case study, we create a dedicated campaign for Sushi Swap. Their team really like it. They decide to announce to their community, and when they pitch others, I use this as a demo, and everybody knows instantly understand. Oh, this is how it works, and Sushi Swap works with you guys you guys work with the Sushi Swap. It's really good, and they want to join this ecosystem to have their logo put next to Sushi Swap. Right, that's the idea. It always apply, it always work in all kinds of B2B sales. If you're building a developer platform, you focus on getting one or two top developers first. So let them be your brand, be part of your branding. Uh, uh, that's important. So we had this, and quickly we also had a Alpaca Finance, we had a Yearn Finance. Those are the top DeFi protocols at that time in 2021. And it demonstrated, it actually works, and users try it out, they love it. And then 6 months later, we started to build the dashboard for customers to self-serve, to launch the campaign themselves. But before that, everything they need, they tell us, and our engineer will set up the campaign for them. We're doing the service for them. At that time, we were not a solution yet. We're just a service company. But it demonstrated and it proved, at least from the proof of concept perspective, it got validated by the customer that the market needs a product like Galxe to help them build their community. And they're willing to allocate budget to this to give away as a prize for that. So yeah, that's what we did at the beginning. And how did we find our product market fit? So we quickly, 3 months after the seed round, we raised our second round, because we already know we're ready to scale with the money, with additional capital, with the team expansion. I'm ready to bring it to more audience. And 3 months after that, we raised our third round. So we raised 3 rounds in a year. And that was that basically helps a lot with different important milestone and announcement shipped at the same time. It gives platform it gives us more credibility. Your platform love it. Your users will see this is real. I'm proud to be part of this. And one of the questions Lisa had earlier was about why do people want to claim these rewards or NFTs, right? If it doesn't have anything. So that's one thing. That's the idea. That's part of the original idea we had. NFT, and that when we started, NFT was just a badge. Was just a meme. There's a CryptoKitties there. People can play CryptoKitty. That's the first NFT utility I've seen. After that, quickly we've seen a lot of profile pictures, right? So PFP become another great, another big utilities for NFT assets, and a lot of people speculating, trading, and trying to make money from it. What we saw is NFT, it can become a certificate of what you have done, right? So on Galxe, how it works is based on this, you get this NFT. And that means those NFTs are the certificates. That's why we call it on-chain achievement token. That represents your achievements based on your behaviors or actions, or some kind of Twitter activities. So that's great. But when you tell users those are the achievements. They expect something. They think it will be valuable, and that's what we've been educating our partners or brands. You should focus on you shouldn't just give away badges for no reason, right? You let them realize that this is really a certificate, can be entitled to some benefits, to some future rewards. Whenever you're ready to launch your token in the future, airdrop to those badge holders, right? So you can utilize uh, your future, say token launch. You can leverage that and start to build your community, leveraging that 6 months or 10 months ahead, right? Why not? This is the best part of Web3, in my opinion. So one of the examples we had recently was Blur, right? The NFT marketplace. They give call to actions for users to go to their website. The first call to action was to claim the mystery box if you are a trader of OpenSea. This is exactly same of what Galaxy have been doing, offering to our partners, right? Based on if you have a good trading history on OpenSea, you can claim, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different amount of mystery boxes. And every time when you open the mystery box, you give a different, say, gold tier or silver tier card. Uh, People have no idea what it is. But then the call to action they designed was now you have to list your NFT assets on my marketplace. So in order to get these benefits, you need to do this. But you still hold that NFT as a certificate, mystery box as a certificate. So when these two combine together, a lot of people actually go to their website to list the NFT. So for their NFT marketplace, you all of a sudden you see so much liquidities, right? Because if more assets listed here, that means for traders, for NFT investors, that means liquidity. And then after that, what they did is they later they announced the uh, bidding bidding campaign. So basically, they ask users to place bids in order to get different points. So they released the point system after the mystery box, right? Based on your activities, you always give you different points. This is also the feature Galaxy is building, which is releasing in 2 weeks. The the on-chain loyalty points, the loyalty points based on your actions are very uh, can really keep your users engaged based on your call to actions, your requirements to your community. Um, so they have this, and they ask users to bid that in order to if you bid depending on your amount or times or how many unique assets you place the bid, you will get different points on top. And a month later, they released the token and announced the airdrop. They reserved 12% or 19% to their community. Everybody was happy about it, and they also achieved a great amount of growth success until now. In the past months, they're number one NFT marketplace. OpenSea is now number two. Right? They surpassed NFT trading volume as well as liquidity, uh, which is a great case study for all of us. How to go to market with this call to actions or activation campaign, as well as some make sure they're visible. Make sure those engagements are visible. They can see where my status is, and what should I do to increase my status, increase my rank, to improve my status, and be recognized in the community. I'll pause here. I think this is basically cover 0 to 1. In case you guys have any questions, I can answer some of the questions first, and then I can move forward to token launch.
All right, well, I'll start with the first question until we get more. First of all, amazing presentation. This is the only one in 3 weeks. I was taking notes, so thank you, Charles. That was awesome because you've had so many amazing points for what we're trying to do here, in the academy. And so we have some very successful companies, very successful founders, teams that have some uptake, that have raised funding, and we're just trying to get them to the next level. I suspect most of them are not in the pre-seed stage. They're kind of like seed, Series A kind of level. But what's interesting to me is this campaign that you're discussing with NFTs and with tokens, right? So is there a Galaxy native token at the moment? And because I haven't used the project, I apologize. And is that for the gas fees, or what is that for? And then when you launch this other token for like Blur, their own native token, how does that interact with yours?
Yeah, Blur was not launched by me.
Okay.
I was just using Blur as an example how they built their community. So for first of all, for your first question, Galaxy has its own token called GAL. The token is on Binance, on Coinbase, and all other exchanges. So GAL token currently is the only governance token. So what we're working on is more we're building the protocol, the data sharing protocol, the underlying protocol that powers Galaxy.com, the campaign site, the campaign discovery website. And then for the protocol, a lot of tokens are required. There will be a tokenomics for you to interact. That's how it works for Gal token right now and after. And also we're planning to add more utilities to Galaxy.com website to let the token holders to to get involved more on the Galaxy.com website to say if you partners can choose to pay their gas fee using Gal token, right? Even if it's to cover the gas fee in BNB or cover the gas fee on Polygon network, you can all use Gal to pay the gas fee as a credit. That's the first thing. The second thing will be staking, right? Staking for users to enjoy some additional benefits in different campaigns. But yeah, speaking of, say, if SushiSwap has their own token called Sushi, that token is not related to our token because Galaxy.com is mainly providing the features for their community to engage, to attract, to grow, and to retain, right? So yeah, I think that's all for your.
So if there is a project, let's say among the founders that needs to launch its token, they have to still go through the token launch on some launch pads or the way that's done, and then they would do the marketing on Galaxy. Is that kind of the division?
Yeah, they can actually start building their community on Galaxy before the token launch, right? But Galaxy is not a token launch pad. They don't launch their token on Galaxy. Galaxy can help them drive users to their token sale, right? But we are not. We're not doing token launch pad at the moment.
What about NFTs? Do they have to do their own mint and then use you as a marketing vehicle as well, or can they mint on Galaxy?
Yeah, so NFT is a little bit different. How NFT rewards work on Galaxy is, first of all, they can use Galaxy OAT, on-chain achievement token. This is the largest NFT gasless badge standard in the world. It's actually we have 1.2 million unique holders of Galaxy OAT, and it's gasless for users. So everybody like to use that as a certificate, and people can easily to check the Galaxy OAT they have in their wallet directly. And we also provide the feature from the dashboard. They can deploy an NFT smart contract by themselves. So that's what they can do. They can also use that as a badge, or they simply want to build an NFT, build a PFP collection directly from our dashboard. We support that feature as well. So it really depends on how they want to use it, but we support both use cases. Use it as an NFT as a certificate, or like a real NFT, sell it to your users.
Okay, and so let's say they mint an NFT on Galaxy. What chain is that on, or is it interoperable? And how do they track it if they take it from Solana to Wax or to, Ethereum or BNB or whatever?
Yeah, so Galaxy currently supports 14 different blockchains. When they do the deployment, when they deploy their contract, they can choose which chain they want to deploy. Um, but currently it's not like you cannot transfer it easily from Ethereum to BNB chain unless you use an external bridge, because we don't see a lot of demands on this feature, because simply, when you go to Galaxy My Oath or My NFT page, you see all the badges you collected. So there's no need to switch different chains to check. Galaxy already provided this front end for all the users and partners.
So like when those people for Blur for example, had to take stuff off of OpenSea and put it on Blur, what were they doing? What was the process of getting that done?
Oh, they don't need to leave OpenSea, right?
Okay.
They just that yeah, they come to claim the mystery box because they have trading history on OpenSea. And then that's like a targeted marketing, like a Google ads, right? You gotta you can acquire these users basically for no cost. Just tell them, okay, you're a good trader, have good trading history, come over here, I have a gift for you. Yeah.
But later
But yeah,
for the listing, when they actually had to move their assets to Blur, how did that actually happen? Do you know
yeah,
what they
so
did?
yeah, so they did something. I think they have one click to remove your NFT listing from all other platforms and make it exclusively on Blur. Yes, they did have that, and then actually it's genius. It's a vampire attack, right? And then turns out it works very well. But I won't suggest everybody to use this tactic at a very early stage, because people don't know who you are. But in the middle stage, right, you already attracted a lot of users, and a lot of people already listed their asset here, and your exchange has a good amount of liquidity or trading volume. People like it, people say, why not? I just delist my assets from other platform and just focus on yours is enough. I can still make money here. Uh, but yeah, I see
That's
Alan.
awesome.
I
Yeah,
see
go ahead,
Alan
Alan.
raised a hand.
Charles, thank you so much for your presentation. Um, can you tell me if it sounds like as you said, there are no gas fees for users, but are we able, can other teams mint through Oat?
Uh, yes. So, well, for the oath, you can uh, say if you set a requirement, once you complete this requirement or credential, you can mint an oath. The oath is designed by your guy by you guys. You guys can upload the design from the dashboard, and people can just claim it directly and mint it without paying any gas. That's how oath works. So you can use oath as a free resource, for you to engage with their community when you don't have a product, when you don't have a token yet. You want to give them some kind of on-chain certificate first, so they know, okay, this probably going to worth something in the future. No matter it's for airdrop or for contributors for Discord roles. So that's one of the use cases. You use old as a reward, but
Mhm.
yes, vice versa. You can also use the old holding as a requirement. So if when I say I have to hold BAYC NFT, I have to hold this oath in order to be required for another rewards, for example, airdrop, or for tokens, or for Discord roles, or for allow list, whitelist, right? That's all doable from Galaxy directly from the dashboard. They can choose which oath they want to be used as a certificate, and then set up the rewards what they want to use to incentivize these old holders or NFT holders.
That sounds amazing, Charles. One follow-up question. So, is this gas free forever, or are you just currently subsidizing that with your, venture capital, your investment capital?
Yeah, so the goal is to make it uh, completely gasless, at least for end users. So we've been sponsoring the gas fee for the past year. The feature has been launched for a year, and currently we have 1.2 million holders, a total of almost 18 million NFTs being minted as an oath. So currently, we're sponsoring the gas fee. We also work with protocols like BNB Chain and Polygon themselves, sometimes subsidize some gas fee as well. But one of the features we're adding to the platform is we allow partners, brands like you guys, to pay for gas fee for your users, because sometimes you want to have you want your users to claim the NFT for free, but it's okay, you're willing to sponsor that because the gas fee in average transaction cost for on Polygon is just 1 to 5 cents, right? And then it's saying you have 10,000 mint, that's only like $500. And that means you acquire the 50,000 users, you're definitely willing to pay $500 in gas credit on behalf of your users.
For sure.
So that's what we have right now.
Thank you so much.
And can you just, in this last 2 minutes, walk us through an airdrop? Because here in the US, we don't do so many, airdrops per se. So how would an airdrop work on Galaxy? Give us like a good example that you feel is like something to think about.
Okay. I think that also related to the next topic, which is token launch, right? But I see George, you raise your hand as well.
Jorge, did
No,
you have a
I am
question?
mute. No, sorry.
Okay. So okay, so for the token launch, right? Okay. First of all, you design your tokenomics, token table in different. There's so many textbook or examples you can learn, right? First of all, you can say there's a 20% for the community treasury, 20% for the founding team, and 20% for your investors, and maybe 10% or 5% for your token sale, launch pool, launch pad, right? ICO. But also, the starting from last year, you start to see every project added additional bucket called airdrop for their users. Because when you launch your token without the airdrop, that means you don't care about your users. Even you probably reserve an allocation called community treasury, but they don't see it that way, right? They have the right to govern that, but they don't know about how to. They don't think that's related to them. So airdrop is definitely become a new standard for all the token launch. 10%, 5%, 2%, 20%, depending on how big your community is. Right? When Galaxy launched their token, we only allocated 2% of the airdrop because we only reward users who've been with us for the past 6 months. But when ENS announced their airdrop, they gave away 20% because they've been in the market for 2 years. Since they launched their first product and until when they launched their token. So it really depends on you. It's case by case. And in terms of regulation, yes, do not use airdrop the term directly. If you're an entity incorporated in the US, actually I do not recommend any crypto company to be incorporated in the US. I know you probably want to hire local team members. You can set up separate entity in the US as a service company, right? To hire those entities, but your IP, the ownership, the founding team of the company of your project, don't use a US entity because you don't create a token from US entity. That's very risky for you. So set up an offshore entity, a Singapore, Cayman entity. But I think you guys will get better advice from your lawyers regarding this. But avoid using airdrops, create token from a US entity. That's definitely very important. And then how do you word it? How do you rephrase it? Right? You can discuss with the lawyer about that. But I'm just saying from a go-to-market perspective, from your project perspective, first of all, I believe every Web3 projects requires a token. If you don't have a token, you are not Web3 because the token, the the idea of the token is creating is decentralize your ownership with your community, right? If you don't even have a token, you're running the business as an equity company. What's the difference between your company and the other Web2 traditional company? Don't say you're offering some Web3 oriented feature. People don't see it that way because the entire uh, uh, platform website is controlled by a centralized entity, and you guys have the right to change anything, change anything you want. So if you don't have a token, you're not really ready to decentralize the some kind of ownership, or you're not even willing to recognize your community, right? Blur token has no utilities right now. The only utility is governance, right? Which you can decide um, how they allocate the token, any important features they want to be added. Are they going to, approve a grant, start a new, initiative if anyone requesting any funds from the treasury. So those are the things they're governed as a token holder. That's enough. That's enough for most of the cases, most of the teams here. But if you're DEX, you want to say, I have some mechanism like BNB to buy back token with my revenue, or I want to allow people to stake, and I want to give away stake revenue, distribute my revenue as the staking rewards. You can do that too. So, but have the tokenomics or the token table distribution table ready before before you launch your token. That's definitely important. And when you share your token table, make sure you're ready to talk about the rules about the airdrop, right? Because people definitely gonna have a lot of questions when you announce the token launch. They have no idea about, what are the rules? What should I do with my airdrop? And I've been collecting so many badges for the past 6 months. I've been contributing as a Discord mod, translating docs. And I've been heavy users. I provide liquidity. I'm an early adopter. I should get rewarded. So you want to announce your rules for the airdrop along with your tokenomics or token table. So that's how you launch your token, how you design a token. And definitely the most important thing here is you need to decide where you want to launch your token, right? In the past, there's so many ICO platforms, there's so many centralized exchange, Launchpad, CoinList, Launchpool, different exchange has a different centralized exchange has different IEO program. Choose one, right? Choose one. But in our experience, or from what I see right now, Binance Launchpad is the most powerful a token launchpad, token launch platform, along with Binance Launchpool, because you get exposed to millions of users, KYC users, and people need to buy it with BNB token, but it's very selective, right? I'm sure some of you have had the experience talking to Binance about this. It's very selective. It's very hard. It's very competitive. It's very hard to get in. And besides Binance, I think the best token launch platform is CoinList, right? Because CoinList got the best branding, especially for infrastructure project. A lot of the big names like Solana, they were all launched on CoinList, and they are also very selective as well. They only had, probably 5 or 6 projects launched last year, and the fees are the service fees working with them is actually quite low. So they take a percentage of the fund you raised, but that percentage is very low. It's acceptable for most of the funders. And after that, there's some tier 2 token launchpad like a Token Soft or DAO Maker, Polka Starter. Those are no longer like a IDO platform. Some of them actually become ICO platform as well. They're no longer like a purely decentralized platform. But yeah, choose a platform and make sure you have a public sale or ICO stage. You don't feel it's scammy, because that's a great way to distribute your liquidity to the a great amount of user base. You want to have your token to be held by more than 10,000 token holders. You can give away big allocation, but make sure it's distributed enough, separated equally within different token holders. You don't want the large percentage of the capital controlled by a single entity. Right? So clarify the rules. Everyone has a cap by $500. And those platforms has their own KYC and AML policy, right? They will need to sometimes ask you to do KYC in order to participate in ICO or IDO. But yeah, that's how it works in terms of token sale. And then when you launch your token, also venue becomes very important, right? You can go with decentralized exchange. It's definitely needed. Pick one on BNB chain. PancakeSwap is the largest, and also pick one on Ethereum. And also, my suggestion is deploy your own token, your governance token, on Ethereum as an ERC20 token, even though you're primarily focused on BNB chain, but deploy your token on Ethereum as an ERC token and work with the bridge to have a bridged version of BNB chain or Arbitrum. It works perfectly. But deploy it as an ERC20 token makes it very convenient for all exchanges to support this asset trading. So they don't need to do any extra development. It's not like if you are Solana, it's very hard to get a new exchange to support Solana network because I need an extra demo in order to support your token. And I also need to integrate, I need to learn about Solana first. So at the very early stage, Solana was having a trouble, getting listed everywhere. But later they got big. And people willing to want to attract their audience, want to get their users, so they make it work. But that's the idea, right? Deploy as an ERC20 token and choose some best exchanges. In my experience, in my views, the best the best exchange centralized is obviously first of all Binance, right? Binance dominate probably 80% of the market share in the spot trading volume. We're not talking about derivatives, but in terms of spot, 80% market share on Binance. Before there's FTX, but now FTX is no longer exists. So Binance, I think the second best platform would be Coinbase in terms of trading volume. Trading volume good means liquidity is good. Liquidity good means it makes it very easy for your users to trade, to use, to have access to asset. So Binance, Coinbase, and the third largest, in my opinion, is OKX. So OK actually, especially from this Blur. Blur was not listed on Binance, but they were listed on OKX, and actually the largest trading volume come from OKX for Blur token. So OKX, and then there's some tier 3 exchanges like Gemini, Kraken, right? KuCoin, MXC, Bybit, Huobi, right? Those are all been in the space for a while, and they have a lot of loyal users use their platform to trade. But yeah, pick a venue, and you don't have to list list your tokens on all exchanges at once. You only need to have select one or two, the best largest platform to launch your token first, and then later follow on. There's some exchanges support trading of your assets, but there's a lot of business development. You need to talk to them, or let them talk to you. If you're a Blur, they won't even talk to you to list your asset. They will directly list it. But this is I would say off the table. You should not engage with the exchange to list your assets, legally speaking. But it depends on how you define this, right? So you should maybe just talk to exchanges to let them support you, right? Instead of uh, uh, ask them to list or pay to list. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all. Some of the tips here. I'll pause here. If you guys have any questions.
So in reaching out to exchanges, which we've been down this road many times, there's just so much fraud and people who are fraudulently representing themselves as members of the BD team of an exchange. What's the best way to do the BD strategy that you are recommending, getting into a relationship with them?
So first of all, Galaxy itself is doing a lot of business development, right? We are doing that. We're reaching out to different partners to use Galaxy as a service, as a platform. We have a sales team working on this all day. So um, uh, yeah, so in terms of doing business development in general, I think just hire someone. Um, you need at least either one person or two people with different knowledge, right? So one person who are master in Web3, understanding the industry, but also excellent in sales, right? But it's very hard to find this person, who are really good at sales, but also very knowledgeable about Web3. Because in total, I think in this space, there's less than 50 people with this capability. Uh, of course, if you hire directly from another crypto company, if you hire from Galaxy, if you hire head of BD of Galaxy, yeah, that's the candidate you need. But it also takes time. So at the very beginning, we didn't even have this resource. So our BD team was they only had Web3 knowledge, but they didn't have any sales. And some of the BD members, they have sales skills, but they don't understand BD. They don't understand Web3. So we always find the balance, but build a BD team that can really understand your product and to sell it in the right way to the right people. So initially, I would say referral is the best way to get leads, to get the opportunities, right? Uh, cold calls, outreach, sure, it's good, but it's really not going to be a huge success rate. But referral is always better than anything, especially the referral from your investors, right? You can easily get connected if your investors know something, which I'm sure most of the VC firms got some connections. Otherwise, it would be no valuable to you if they only providing capital, right? So the resource, that's definitely what you need when you look for investors. So they can make an intro. Once you have that, you make some friends, and your friends can refer you. I would say referral is the best way instead of replying to a DM randomly sent to your Discord and saying they are from which exchange they want to charge you for listing. Those are scams. Just stay away.
Yeah, so you basically, I think this is why crypto events are so important, because that's pretty much where, the community either knows you or they don't know you, kind of a thing. And even when we were getting applications for the academy, people, even from the BNB chain tweets, people were worried if this was real or not real. So, we're in the industry where this is so important. Well, I think you spent more than your hour with us. We're grateful. These are words of wisdom. So people can get onto your platform right now? We're going to start a Telegram channel, and we'll add the founders into the Telegram channel. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah. So what about this? Marina, maybe you can create a group chat and share the link.
Okay.
Everyone, and I can join that group as well. I'll invite my team join there. So if you
Okay.
guys have any other questions or regarding this, feel free to contact me. Or if you have questions about using Galaxy, our team can help as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Charles. That was really educational and very helpful, and we appreciate your further help here. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.